That's all right. That's all right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Steelhorse Station. Hope you're all well this morning. G'day, Jason and John. Great to have you in. It is Friday morning. Feeling like I've had a good sleep, so that's good. And people like John in the UK, hope your Thursday evening is going well. Jason, I'm guessing you're off to work shortly. And now let us check that we have everything working here. The only thing that bothers me is OBS did an update and it's changed a couple of things, but hopefully everything is working correctly. It's one of those things, it's always a bit difficult to tell. Let's go across. We should have all the sound, and if you can hear me, the truck's not running, so that won't make much difference. Let's put this vehicle, oh actually let's go and get the maintenance on this vehicle. So today's plan, we're in December. We've got a few little chores, things that we haven't got to over the last few episodes because of the excellent John. That's good to know. That's what I was worried about, because they've changed the audio. A couple of settings that I don't understand in the audio, so I was hoping that it sounded okay. So you're all repaired. Repaired. Now, let us see here. We'll put you in the shed. So what I'm thinking in terms of action, you'll see first of all that I bumped the time up to 5 times. So I'm thinking that we get through December a little more quickly. In fact, December, January, and possibly February. But rather than just skip straight through, I'm thinking we'll take care of jobs on the way. We do have some produce to sell. I want to kick that over that way. I can leave you there for the minute. Right, truck. In the truck shed. Truck also needs a little bit of love and attention. Just sort of figured that it's a good opportunity to do a hygiene check on everything we have. I've decided in terms of fields, having thought more about it, where in fact we can do that right after I park the truck. That turns into there just nicely. If we have a look at the overhead, I think we're going to go ahead and grab 69 while we can. And then the plan is to save and buy one of, well, probably 28 is the one I'm kind of aiming for. But obviously there is more cash required. So 621,000 when we get to it. However, now let's see down here in order to, that's kind of the main job. We need to feed the cows so they've got enough to get through the next couple of months. So we could do with a feed mix. Let's have a look here. Well, before I do that, the other thing I was thinking about with feed mixes, interested in people's points of view, might not be necessarily the way it's done, but I kind of like the idea. I wondered how it would go to place one of these just here beside the trough, so it's in the area where we got, it doesn't need to move, and it should tip straight into the feed trough, being a bit bigger volume than what we've currently got, and still doing the job for us. Ultimately, we could potentially put it in a shed, or at least with a lean-to over the top. So we don't have to make that decision just now, but that was my sort of thought, as a little bit of fixed equipment. Now, where are we? We require the truck. That's what I was going to get, which I have put. Footy put. Yeah, too many sheds. We could leave you. Oh, the dump belongs. Whoops. Let's try not. Have I got a filter on the right? Oh, what's it done? Okay, just hang on a tick. Not that I know of. Let's have a look here. Right side of my screen. So when you say the right side of my screen, you're talking about here, where the logo is in the corner? Opposite to me, right. Nothing that I'm aware of. What are you seeing? All the pictures look normal to me in my monitor, so I'm not sure what. I certainly haven't created any fancy effects, so if you're getting one, that's not intended. Let us put that just there. it on there. Let's see here. Dark banded shadow. That's all pretty consistent. Well, at least the images that I'm putting out look consistent. It is nighttime at your end. Now, we want to... What do we do for capacity here? That's 14. So... one of those is 6.5. I think we put one of those in. We've got plenty. So let's drop you off for the minute. One. Whoop, bang. Nothing like hitting the wall with a concrete weight. Okay, that's promising, Jason. Thank you. But the scary thing is what's casting a shadow on John's screen. Now, actually, let's just make the mix this way. Probably should put this guy in last. And put you on so that I can actually see what's going on here. Right. So one of the things we've got to do today touch wood, I must say I've had pretty good run with tallies last few purchases. And the only reason I've got the controls up is so that I can see the formula. And I'm thinking what we might invest in is the... What? Oh, okay. It's just delayed in updating. I thought for a horrible minute that I was somehow magically adding chaff. Yeah, so what I was about to say is there was a mod Mr. Sealy P reviewed yesterday, came out, the only drop I've seen from this week, which looks like it could be very much my cup of tea and quite useful, being guessing it's going to be in miscellaneous. This guy, the mobile ramp, I thought was really nicely done a little bit mobile. I'm thinking we might have to go with one of those. Get a green frame, as is our sort of farm colour. I liked the fact that you could vary the height. I liked the fact that it was long enough that it gave you a reasonable ramp, and that you could tow it around like a trailer. It sort of seemed the best of all possible worlds, and the sort of thing that was worth just having sitting in a shed somewhere. We certainly don't want GPS on it, so I reckon we'll get one of those. Because this sort of situation where you don't have enough reach, and just sort of operating at the limits of the equipment, it would be just perfect to line it up. It's also the situation where you want to drop something over a fence. So it's just the lift on this little tractor's remarkably good. But it is still a little bit constraining at times. There we go. Oops, still trying to get better at using my joystick, not necessarily winning that battle. There you go. Oh, right. So is live chat on a black background? Because that's the other thing that has changed, is I noticed Google had updated this morning, so it's quite possible they've changed some stuff. And how we going there? I've got to get in the truck and see if it's full. Plenty more room. Okay. So let's uncover the silo. $200,000 litres in here, so that'll keep the cows fed for a little while. Change is a wonderful thing. Particularly useful when your constituency sees no use for it. Welcome along everybody else who is popped in. Oops, did I hit the wrong button? I might have. Now we're moving the camera. Let's try that. I can see there's a few folks that are enjoying us, presumably from the comfort of their work circumstance. Great to have you in nonetheless. We are just feeding the cows. No contracts at this time of the year, so given how busy we've been with contracts the last few episodes, this is an opportunity to... That looks full. Get our cows sorted out for the winter. As we can see there, we're a little over half full, so we'll do another one of those. What are our straw bales in terms of volume? 7,500, so definitely don't want to use a whole one of those. Presents. Put you in. I'll just drop 5 more of these in and the bale, and that will be the cow mix done. As you can see with what I was saying before, with the time passing a little quicker, we'll get through December. I'm thinking that in January we'll actually switch to 2-day months so that they will activate from the start of February. But that will get into a mode... that's so those cows don't produce milk yet, and however the question as to where the pickup point is a good one. It's something that I've got to pay attention to if I put that feed mixer down, so I think, which is where I think you were going with that question. So that's a good one. Let's have a look and see if we can get an answer. Because it's not something I had considered. That was just the sort of thing that would bite me. And the answer to that question is right where I was planning to put it. Good point, John. So, given I've already edited this field once, looks like another edit will be required. Where am I up to there? Got 3 more to go. Another edit will be required to put the milk point somewhere convenient. Maybe it's a good opportunity to put some artifacts there for to support the milking operation, a little shed or something with a milk tank possibly on the far side. Just dress it up a little bit. The other alternative is that we just keep it as a rearing pasture. At what stage do the deer start producing honey? Well, that's a very good question. who knows what the answer could be. And welcome along, Phil McCracken. Great to have you in. I don't believe I've met you in our stream before, so it's nice to have you here. Speaking of deer, one thing that our canine friend has encountered recently is deer antler. So who knew that dogs really like to chew on deer antler? And they last forever. So I got a 6-inch piece. They're not cheap, but they're terrific. I did mean bees. The half-life of the fermentation stage. Not the sort of questions that I'm familiar with, Phil. But who knew? Counting is not my cup of tea. There we go. They sell them as chew toys here now. And which is probably where we got it from. Given deer isn't native to this country, it's not something I would have expected us to come up with on our own. Right, why did that not all tip out? Oh, because I lifted it up too early. Okay. Thinking that might get us pretty close. I think we know what you mean, Phil. At least about the tiresome part. No, it doesn't. Which I haven't looked at it. I'm prepared to wager the tipper might operate a little. Oh, sorry, the tipper. The 754 might have a few quirks with it because I've encountered it few other places where it doesn't seem to register correctly. Rightio, that's actually not a bad mix, surprisingly. And that will be plenty for there. Let's pop you down. They're fine for water. I think if we look at the cows themselves, we will find, where are they down here? Holsteins. Yeah, they've got another. What age do they start producing? Is it 13 months or 18 months? I cannot remember. It might be. They've got at least another 6 months till we start getting milk out of them. So that food will keep them going for plenty of time. Now, 12 months for milk, 18 months to start reproducing. There we go. So we can leave you there for the moment. Let's go down to the other farm. Actually, let's go over to the chicken farm, I think, and have a look at the chicken situation. We have a very small amount of honey, but it is producing, which was the main thing I was trying to test. Pulling that out of the spawn. So that's good. Not surprising given we've got no crops growing near it. We have plenty of eggs there. And over here, what do we got here? A bucket. Right. So what we require is a vehicle to pull that, which means I have no tractors hanging around here, do I? Have I got a hitch on the back of the Kubota? I do not, so I can't move the tractor. Okay. So let's find where that truck is. There, that's why. Okay. Oh, you need to get put away. There's no need to have you sitting out in the middle of his fields. This is the contract field we were doing last time. It appears to have struck with our tractors parked in the middle of it. So let's send you back. Putney delivery off your toddle. That explains why we don't have many tractors hanging around, because we've left them out in the middle of the field. Let's turn you off. You can go to the same spot. It would indeed, Phil. He ran out. We'll send you to the same spot. Oh, I don't want you to go there. Stop. Stop. Come back. Now, I don't want you to go there either. I want you to go to there. Sounds a little bit high tech for a pub solution though, Phil. That one's there. Now, this is the yard we want. We can empty that grass out while we're here. And then what we might do is take this tractor across to the chickens. We should go and have a look at our... We will need to sample our field, of course. The one we just purchased. Let's empty you out. Nope, too far back. There we go. Come on, fill up. More coffee, he says. Looks like it's a 2 coffee morning. Straighten up. I thought I put the oh no, I'm going to use it on there was another script mod that I noticed that was very simple, but I thought actually that's useful, but I'm going to put it on the Newlands save. Glad I've inspired you, Jason. And the motto is just referencing. I'm going to put on the Newland save. It ports to. I haven't activated it yet. It ports to add some text to the field description at the bottom, so you're not just relying on the icons. And I figured on a Maize Plus save, that could come in handy, particularly when I keep getting confused between all the grass types. Now we'll just run around here and grab this lot. By driving in a straight line, that would be good. Pleasant View Farms, welcome along. Great to have you in, sir. Hope you are well. I haven't been able to catch any of your streams in the last little while. I seem to have missed them the last couple of weeks. Oh, a little bit underdone for horsepower and traction. Well, that explains it. In that case, I haven't, I don't feel quite so bad that I've missed something important. Real life farming is important. You need to get that done. Those jobs typically won't wait. I did read an interesting article during the week here. I'm guessing it probably wasn't published outside of Australia, but it was about the way a local farmer, so it's true in other countries, but Wi-Fi coverage or cellular coverage is pretty spotty in regional Australia, and that's been an ongoing source of frustration as farmers try to adapt technology. Well, what an enterprising farmers have been trying to do and figured out is that if he actually attaches mesh devices to all of his equipment, he can create his own Wi-Fi bubble covering his entire property, and all of a sudden the GPS and other crop sensor functions in his vehicles work 1,000 times better. I thought that was pretty cool. In fact, what it reminded me was that on here we haven't put down the building that supposedly does a similar thing, which we probably should do. Pop it in over there somewhere. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Or a proxy for a similar thing. RTK station is what I'm thinking of, yes. Yeah, that was what struck me, Jason, was that it was because I can imagine it being a pretty frustrating experience if you're a somewhat remote farmer and, you know, the and particularly if you're not like can be a fantastic farmer, but not all that up with technology, and the salesperson will sell you this great, you know, harvester for argument's sake with GPS, and then you get it back to your farm and you find that it doesn't work quite as it does in the brochure because you haven't got the Wi-Fi coverage on your farm to support it. So I just liked the fact that and that the technology had gotten affordable enough that putting little mesh receivers in all these vehicles was actually affordable. So it was quite cool. Right, we have vehicles in the yard, which means we can go send something over to the egg yard. We might actually send the Voltra across, put that on the trailer. Oh, I'm sure they will find the coverage holes. Anybody that's got to depend on it, and it's because it's so integrated now for the phone and emergency service and all those sorts of things. You become very quickly aware of where the coverage gaps are. Hey, I live in the middle of suburbia, and I was well aware at one point that one brand of mobile phone was completely unusable for on-call support from my house, whereas the other one worked fine. Yeah, you need to be turned off. Actually, you can go down and get some maintenance. Where are you there? Farm workshop, wait, that's where we want to send you. You don't need any maintenance, you can just go back in your shed. Yeah, well, this was the same. This particular service provider, I had to go and stand on the front porch, which when you're taking support calls at 2 o'clock in the morning isn't exactly what you want to be doing. All right, John. I would have thought England would have better coverage than it appears to, given you've got all that population. And, whoops, why didn't I turn that off? That's better. All that population in a relatively small area. You look like you're fine for... just pop you in there, actually. Oh no, I'll put it in the other shed where I remember where it is. Oh, I don't want you to do that. You can't lower it down to drop it nicely off the back. You've got to disconnect it from high and drop it on its blades, which doesn't make sense, but that's how it is. And at the rate we go through fuel in this tank, we could probably do with a bigger one here. Never mind. Yes, the NIMBYs are out in force on some of these things. Yeah, lower and unfold are, well, lower automatically activates unfold, which has got me into trouble more than a couple of times. Now let's send you back to chicken coop 1 so that we can get you going unloading the eggs. While we're doing that, we can do another load of this. Oh, and Jason, just one for you to file in your back pocket, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that you work in some proximity, certainly in the same organisation as my partner's, my daughter's partner. Who, as it turns out, is also in Melbourne this week for work. That might narrow him down a little bit. Nice view. Looks chill. We've got snow on the way, so that's why I'm keen to get this picked up before it slows us down. Oh, it was so wet and cold earlier in the week. Yes, the main people that made a lot of money out of privatisation, John, without getting too political and getting everyone stressing about the world, was that consulting firms made all the dough, advising both ends against the middle. doesn't make it the wrong answer, just means that it's got to be managed differently, and too often people forget that when they do a transaction of that nature. As one of my early mentors used to say, the toughest thing about smart people is if you give them the wrong targets, they hit them. I've seen countless examples of that. So, well, we'll fill this guy up, and then I'm thinking, in fact, we might even, yeah, we'll wait till the end of that. We're almost at the end. I get quite a healthy serve off here. Good morning, Jason Rowe. Welcome in, sir. This has been a good week for you. Summer. I remember summer. We had one once. Where do I want to go? I'll just go up that top row a little bit. Let's get the last 4,000 if we can. Well, that's always a good sign. I always look forward to the point where I can turn the heating off. John, we've definitely had ours on for the last little bit. Now I'm kind of thinking we could put the RTK station. Let's have a look at what our choices are. We could put it by the gate there if it'll fit, or at the back of the, excuse me, between the bale shed and the silo shed are a couple of options, given that other than having it, let's have a look here. It's in tools, is it not? That's the weather station. Is it not int? I don't know. That's what I just wanted to have a look at. Yeah. does it hide? Maybe it's in... containers, maybe? Or maybe it's just straight sheds. I don't recall seeing it in sheds, or it would have prompted me to put it in before. It's not in landscaping. It's not a decoration. No. Definitely not a container. I'm sure it was in tools. Am I just going blind? No. Move forward so that we don't have to hear that white noise filling up the background. Shows you how long it is since I put one down. So can't even remember where they are. Unless they're in miscellaneous in the equipment. No. Let's containers, big bags. Let's have a look at the sales while we're here. Ooh. We don't need one at the moment. That's too small. Don't want a cotton trailer. Gosh, they're throwing out those JCBs. That's the second one we've had. The last one was a 4,000. Okay, so where in the menu? It's not in sheds. There are a lot of sheds. Oh, it is in sheds. So this is the guy I was thinking of. Because you don't need... I don't think we need to go that big. We don't need a sort of in-between shed of that size. Whereas this guy here, we could potentially pop in there like so, I'm thinking. I'd have to move the in by the gate. We could pop him over behind the... Actually, that mightn't be a bad spot for it, behind the little silo there. Just somewhere like... That'll work. Why is it doing so much? Oh, it's only $18 worth of landscaping. That's all right. Where is the standalone unit, John? Because I can't find it. I remember seeing a mod for it, and what I discovered on some maps is that it didn't work. Anyway, if you can tell me where it is, we'll have a look at it. But I think chucking that in there will do fine. In buildings, tools in the store. Buildings, tools, right. That's where I've been. So, not there. That's the charger. That's methane. I don't have anything else. All the rest now are mods. So I think what you're referring to must be a mod, because that's the weather station. If that's the one you're talking about. That's it. I don't have anything else. I only have these buildings. But I'm not uncomfortable with that. It's chucked in out of the way. And with the contracts we're doing, the 10% speed improvement will pay for itself. If in fact it works. So I don't, if it's supposed to be in there, I don't know why I don't have it. I can't think of any mod that I'm running that would remove it. And I certainly haven't messed with that part of the base game. Yeah, because now you've got my curiosity. I definitely downloaded a mod that at or around the time precision farming came out that gave you the ability to put in a mast. And the reason I did that, I haven't used that frequently, is because I encountered a problem with it. I was doing it on Old Stream Farm at the time. Old Stream Farm, or what was the other map I was playing at that time? It was another European map. Yeah, I'm thinking, where's the best place to load this? Maybe just leave it there, I think. Let's experiment a little. That's the buckets. As far as I know, there's no connection with the GPS mod, because the RTK function is a precision farming addition, and the GPS mod isn't available on console, so I don't believe there is any connection. Now, yes, I could have bought a, let's go in cab, I could have bought some eggs across with me. That might have been smart, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. Let's see here. Can't quite see. That must be the one that, and is that 5,000, John? Because I remember something about that sort of value. Lift you up. Try not to crush any eggs. No omelets were made in the filming of this episode. Okay. Righty-ho. Very claustrophobic in here. Come on. So it's 6,200 for the roof. Is that the one you were thinking of? Or do you think there's another one out there? What we can do, I think I'll put the building down here, is if I'll go looking for it now that you've given me the reference, and we'll pop that one on down. We'll pop that one on Newlands. Ah, that really wasn't clever, was it? Come on. Right. Thank you. That's better. Tilt forward. I do like the fact that there are multiple colors on the eggshells. Are you able to tell which one has the highest reviews? Or highest rating, I should say. Not that that's really a terribly good indicator of much, but apropos of nothing. You get that hang of it. Certainly the call to make it a skid steer for that was definitely a good one. Whoever pushed me in that direction. Just run round to the other shed. What we'll actually see is seeing we're in the mode for experimentation. Can we actually pick up 4 of these at once? We wouldn't be able to see, of course, so there's that to consider. Ah. I've probably got it. Whoops. That's interesting. Just hit the wrong button. It doesn't like the RTK building. Oh no, they're just errors from stuff that doesn't show up correctly in the store. Okay, cool. We'll not get carried away. That some of the mods don't reference their store entries correctly. Is what all of that red was about. Where are we here? Let's just do a loop. But yes, I could do. I'm thinking 3 might be just stretching the friendship, mainly because of visibility. Two's working well. Let's get that sorted. And yes, it was a lot of red. That's what caught my attention, because I've actually got, despite everything we're running and doing on here, it these days runs pretty clean, which is nice. Out of there. I'm pretty sure I can lean, I just can't remember what the button is. Let's have a look. We want to be there. It's down in, oh, it's not player interactive. It's one of Lockie's 79's mods, isn't it? Switch seat, pallet, auto load, auto drive. Realistic, lean forwards, left shift. There we go. So we can do it if I actually remember. It's like everything. If you've got the skills. Good shout, Jason, good shout. And so now we can be looking forwards. The red tips, I must say, are actually quite useful on here. Where you up just a fraction. What are you doing? I see. Why won't you pop out of there? Oh, good job, John. Thank you. As I think I noted before, it just occurred to me the other day that I should add one of those in because of the amount of contracts we're doing. It's less, well, it's actually not useful now that I think about it on Newlands because we don't do any contracts over there, so don't. We use a little bit of helpers, I guess, so it's helper. Yeah, so I've got my Thrustmaster 16,000M sitting here, but I've not actually gone to the trouble of setting it up properly. I started and then I got myself terribly confused. So I'm actually just using the little joystick that's on the button box. The side panel, whatever they call it. So well, this hasn't gone too badly, all things being considered. We've got a whole bunch of eggs out. And onto a trailer. And there we go. Tip. That'll do. I'm fairly happy with that, to be honest. Oh, I've got a bit of a shake in the trailer there. 3.5 to... Well, I'll load the ones you've found on. I'll also have a look at the XML and see if I can spot any differences, and we can talk about them on Tuesday's stream. That sounds like a bit of an idea. So 16,800 eggs. Let's just check our favorite price comparison tool. Eggs. We have lots of them. Medium pallet warehouse is the way to go. 2,300. That's actually a fairly handy little payday there. That'll pay for the trailer that we got. The snow's coming in. Let's send you to 12 points. Does it make it onto the thing? It does not. Productions, medium pallet warehouse. Off your toddle. Oh, I know what I gotta do just while I think of it. I'm pretty sure the delivery truck is parked down here. How about that? With a whole bunch of our seed on it. Because we had it sent to that field while we were doing the seeding. So you can go to Putney delivery. There may well be a few broken ones in real life, but that's why they don't send me to do the eggs. Let's get a little bit more of this grass off before the tray sets too far in. Oh, we've got an empty trailer. We'll start at the bottom of the hill, and I need to remember next time to put some silage additive in. There's no employer in their right mind would get me on an activity that involved fine motor skills. Not my skill set. Okay, let's... we might as well go all the way to the top here. We'll be done with it. It's getting darker as Decembers do in this part of the world. So what we might... He's reached the pallet warehouse. On the price tool, what did it say was going to happen to prices? Excuse me. Okay, so we do want to sell the eggs before we roll out of December because they're only going to fall in value. Notwithstanding, we probably should have a mechanism where we sell them every month, but I haven't figured out how easily to do that. No worries, Jason. You enjoy your weekend overtime. Hopefully it goes well. Good to see you. We'll be back for normal programming next week. Pick all this up. I think that snow is looking quite heavy actually. I think it might interrupt our grass collection. Get this trailer and call it quits, I think, for December. Have to leave the last little bit. Right, 55, so we've probably got 5 more rows to pick up in the weather. It's quite the blizzard. It is definitely okay till it settles. It's a bit hard to see. Probably if I turned the lights on, it would make it easier, wouldn't it? It's always a good idea when it's dark. How about you turn the lights on, Chief? Improves visibility. I've got another light setting. I do. I have more light settings. There we go. Guessing that's why they fit work lights. So that when you're working, you can see. Silage additive is required. Excellent reminder. We will finish this run. Now close to the end of the row. Pretty darn close, and there's a couple of little bits that I missed up the hill there, which we might just go back and pick up. And right there specifically we'll tackle. We won't get all of it because we only got 1,000. Right. So let's duck over here. Oop, over there. Fill up with silage additive, conveniently located beside the post. Empty the trailer. And given we don't want a trailer full of snow when we next come to use it, I might put you in the shed out of the way. Oh, gonna get you up there. Get up the hill. Righty-ho. Come on, stay in the bunker. I don't want you bumbling out the front. There we go. Very much like the sort of day hot Milo is in order. Hot chocolate for the non-Australian parts of the world. Right, that's done there. Let's just go over and do our eggs. Now, the tricky thing about this sell point that's a little bit annoying I mean, it's good if you're going for realism, but if you're not, it's a little on the fiddly side. Let's, oh, goodness me, do a better job of that steel. Let's try squaring it up before we get to the loading dock. Now I've managed to push it all the way over there. Right. So if you haven't used this facility before, and that's going to be annoying if I can't drive onto there, which I can't. That is going to be really annoying. What? Oh, terrific. Where's the collision there? What? So even though it's not fitted, this trailer has a bale collision on the back. Really? That's just poor modding. Poor modding is the only word for it. So I'm not sure how much of that you can see on the stream. This trailer has an option when you buy it. What is it? The Marshall. Marshall bale trailers. Johnson Lizard. This guy. And I bought it in this mode deliberately so that it would be able to do this job, expecting that when you buy it like that, you don't get the collision at the back, knowing that if I want, oops, not wheels, knowing that I could add that on, but of course, not allowing for the fact that the modder left it there. Now, that's potentially going to get in the way even of picking him up by hand. Let's just see. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. How about that? So this was exactly what I was trying to avoid. Oh. Because I did that or something similar last time. What I need to do is modify this factory so that you can back in, so the bay actually extends into the factory. That might be beyond my skills, but we'll see. Would be an interesting little project. I think that was the way I did them last time. I'm so... it does stop you. Right, I can't move them through the thing. As long as I pick it up, it's not very high. Right, you can see me sticking it on the top. But it absolutely gets in the way. Okay. Actually, the simplest fix is to go back with my original thought when I saw this warehouse, which is to move the sell point outside. Get you off there. Okay, so we made a bit of money from the eggs. Let's send you back. Oops. Need my cursor back. Where have you gone? There it is. We need you to go to the main yard. Why are you going to the repair station? You don't have auto repair. Yes, you do. Right. Bruce Salter. Welcome in, sir. Hope you are well. We're just about to roll the day, so don't be put off by the darkness. We have finished December. We've just sold a pile of eggs. And we are going to the house. We're going in for hot chocolate before we... there's no point getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning in January, so we will do that. So 9,000 on our loan interest, and if we can see froze on the ground. We have a look at our loan situation. The balance is coming down steadily. And what the other change we were going to make is go to 2-day months, which is days per month, 2-day months, save game. Which of course won't kick in January. That'll start in Feb. I'm guessing there are still no contracts. That's not a great surprise. So it was not my plan that we necessarily spend a long time in January even. We had a piece of equipment down here waiting to be repaired. Let's do that. And we've got to take care of Mabel and Bessie and the chickens down here. In fact, one of the things I wanted to do with these chickens is empty them out again. Prepare you. I want to say empty them out. Take the older ones up to the other farm, up to the main chicken shed, and start production in shed 3. We'll do that in just a tick. We need the crates, don't we? Look, you got stuck on the fence. I thought I fixed that. Obviously not. Maybe it's the road's a little slippy. You can... drop you in there. Drop you down. Okay, so you're in good shape. You might as well stay in out of the snow. So we can move the trucks which are clogging up the penny section over here. Are you having a good week, Bruce? Is the world being kind to you? Yeah, the question is... Yes. So... This is the load point. Why did you only unload one? It's interesting. Thank you, you're very kind, sir. Left shift I. Okay, it's gonna start loading. Oh, it's 5 is start loading. Right. Undo that. And oh, only get 3 off. Okay, so auto load's a bit confused by the pattern that I've put them on with. But as you can see, I did activate auto load, so to an extent we have that. Maybe if I use auto load to load it in future on the warehouse truck, that will help us out. You can... I've lost my cursor again. There it is. Turn you off. Where on earth are you going, champ? Never mind. The other one's in. You need to... Got it filtered to full only. But even so, most of those should be full. They were. All the back ones were full. Oh no, not all of them. That one wasn't. I'm curious now. No. Only one on the trailer wasn't full. So an explanation, but not the total one. Where do I want you to go? As annoying as you are, this trailer for the minute lives up at Chickens. You can go back to Coop 1. If you don't get stuck getting out the gate. My own error. my own error, and I've lost the cursor again. The snow is really not happy with the cursor. Right, so we can undo those. Take you off. We've got a field that we need to sample, which is the field we bought. Leave the fuel on there. Actually, we don't need the fuel on there. So you got to go to coop 1 first because you got to pick up the chicken crates, as I recall. Right. Snow on the ground, we can't be picking up grass until we picked up the grass. We need an implement in this yard for moving stuff at some point. Let's check the sales. Nothing. Well, I say nothing. But we don't need another planter because we've got the 2 big horses. Front loader on the 800, that might work for us. Okay. We can do soil testing in this weather, but not on that tractor. That would be unpleasant. You're going to be a bit of a pain to get at, aren't you, in there? So let's go sample our new field and see what we've purchased. Whoop. Watch out for that gate. So our new field here is looking decidedly weedy. Let's open up a window. It is, John. It is. That's interesting. I have not encountered that before. I cannot see where I am. I have no visual reference. That would tend to suggest I'm easily getting all of this end of the field, wouldn't it? There's the corner. Somewhere about there-ish. Oh, that's right. This soil test has got a lot of range, hasn't it? We elected that based on size of the fields that we were doing. So B will take you. And then somewhere up. You're dragging on the ground there, champ. Somewhere up here. There we go. That about the end of the field. Send them off. Let's have a look. Did I get it all? I'll find out in a minute. Yes, I did. Got all of it and part of the next field. So 45 is not an unsurprising score. Soil quality's improved quite a bit, which is good. No great surprise there. We need lime, nitrogen, and we don't have any yield info. So that's that. Why did you drop down again? Where's the outdoor? Rightio. Well, it is 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock in the morning, Oz time. We will what we'll do, if the last task, we'll move those chickens. We can put this back. Actually, a better shed for this guy. Hold you up. You at the back there. Where I'll never remember where it is, but at least I've got a chance of being able to see it back there rather than with other equipment in front of it. Let's have a look here. That's the new tilt trailer we bought. Now we're at the right spot. You can stop. You can stop. Not enough honey there to worry about. Let's just up around here. I'll get those trays, which are where? There they are. Yes. That is the plan, but it'd be nice to get the last bit of grass off that field if we can, so that get the last bit of grass off the field so that then as we move into a Feb we'll have that couple of $100,000 worth of silage available to us. That is absolutely the plan, because that's the core way that I hope, with just a couple of contracts, to be able to get to the point where we can afford that field by fields. And let's just go send you to, whoops, don't want to do that, don't want to do that. Send you to there. Yeah, I don't know what the preference. Yeah, field 28. Looks like it had oats in it, so that's definitely the plan. But there's nothing in the field we just sampled, is there? No. So we're all good to go with that, with whatever we want to put in it. And then we'll be fine. One option we have is to put a crop into 76. Although it is largely silty. So maybe we just leave it with grass. It's very convenient that we get the bulk of a clamp filled from that field, and it's, you know, small distance to cart it. It's kind of works pretty well for us. It's been fabulous cash flow. So maybe we just leave that as grass. There's still another trailer load to take off there. When hopefully we get, what is the weather looking like for the month? Actually, later in the day, the snow might clear. February's looking snowy, which is not a great surprise, and then March. So we'll get it. We'll get something sorted. I might do that off between streams, just sort of roll us forward so that we're definitely into February for Monday's stream. Just see how we go. And I'm just looking at the passage of time. I'm thinking maybe 6 times speed might work well. So part of my rationale for 2-day months is just to try and get through see how we go with a month of stream, but have 2 days, so there's a, you know, a passage of time and a light and a day there. Now let's come up here. Let's get these chickens. Now, where is the trigger? I think it's around here somewhere. No, there it is. Huh. That's the animal dealer. Transport crate, that's what we want. I knew it was some sort of combination that I had to mess with. So we have 17 month, 9 month. I reckon we take, how many of those? I wish this screen would tell me how many I've got. Let's select all the youngest ones. So there's only 2 of those, yes. 20 months will leave here, 17 months select. There we go. Seventeen months select. Move to there. Okay. What are you? 19 months select. Yes. Months, 10 months, they're better. Rightio. What I was going to do, sell those at our little stall out the front while we're here. And you're out of food, so we've got to bring back a hay bale for the home cows. Right, so that is coop 3. Where have the coops gone? I sort of moved them all. Never mind. Round to coop 1 park. And what I can do is jump across to you. Got a spike on. No worries, John. I'm just about to sign off. I'm literally going to send this guy to the other farm and say goodnight. Thank you very much for being here for the whole stream. It is very much appreciated. You and Jason, by the looks. So as I just said, that's very much where we're going to leave it. We'll send you down to there, because that's the food for the cows that are just by the main house. Bessie and Maybe. Bessie and Mabel. So until next time, have a great weekend, everyone. I trust you've enjoyed yourselves. I very much enjoyed having you in, and it's very much appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll be back next week on the Oaks, Monday. See you then. Cheers.